All right, welcome to our Monday night call. It is May 27th already. It's kind of crazy how fast the month has gone. And I am super pumped to be co-leading this call tonight because there's something about leading a call with Jen Guthrie that gets me fired up for the whole day that we get to present together because it's been a little while. So as you guys pop on, if you could just make sure that you are muted, I will try my best to manage participants over on my end, but I just hear like crazy echo. So if you can just remember that, that will be great. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen over here because tonight's topic is something that is crucial. Like it is key to success, and it's all about conversations. And Jen and I, just hearing from each of our own individual teams and really trying to find those pain points to try to help you guys move forward. This is always kind of like where it comes back. It's like circles back to conversations and how to have them and what to say and really all of it. So we are going to walk you through exactly what we do in hopes that it helps you guys get unstuck and just really can take your business to that next level. All right, so give me just a minute to pull up my slides here. And can you guys see my screen? So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and Jen will hop in here in just a little bit. But guys, right now we are in this season of people are busy, right? I don't know if that's what you guys are kind of finding, but we talk about summer's coming and we have graduations and kids are getting out of school. I personally am a mom of 3. Ages 1, 9, and 12. Okay, so we are definitely like in that busy season. And I can remember signing up 6 years ago. My coach anniversary was at the beginning of May 6 years ago. And I just look back and I think, wow, like it actually took me like a couple of months before I actually signed up as a coach, because we were in a season of busy. And my coach ended up following up with me like 30 times, and I'm not exaggerating. I actually went back and looked. But in this inviting process and really taking that conversation to the next level, I want you guys to just remember where you're at in life too, right? And starting that conversation and generating the conversations, really focusing on how to get responses by thinking, what would I respond to, especially when I'm the mom who's, hate to admit it, but probably checking my messages in between stoplights and soccer practices and on the go, where I probably should wait and check everything whenever I get home. But you have to think, your potential customers and clients, they're probably in the exact same position that you are with that go, go, go mentality. Okay, so walking you guys through how to start a conversation tonight, how to get those responses, forming. You really have to understand that, remember, there's a relationship here with this business. This is not like, I'll just say like makeup, right? You see somebody, you're like, oh, I really love that eyeshadow. Where did you get it? And then you go buy it because you can go to Ulta or Target or whatever. This is a relationship business, and I like to always use this kind of example. We as women have been programmed to see magazine covers our whole lives, right? See the perfect bodies, and we go on Pinterest and we see all these workouts that we could be doing and all these diets and all of these things that will make us lose 10 pounds, the cabbage soup diet, the Atkins diet, the South Beach diet. I'm naming these things because I have done all of these in the past, the weight loss pills. And society makes us believe, by putting it into our head so much and so often, that that's the way to quick results. So there is a solution that you can have quickly. You can lose 10 pounds in a weekend, right? Because that's what they preach. So think back, right? All of these times, how many of you guys have tried a diet or something that someone has promised you will work, right? So you've been promised that it will work. And what happens? It doesn't, or you're starving, or you can't even function, and you're moody and you're grumpy and nobody wants to be around you. So think back, how many times have you done that over a lifetime? I know I started in the 6th grade. Okay, so forming a relationship and understanding that people don't trust us right away. They don't trust what we're doing. They don't believe that by 30 minutes a day working out, by eating pizza and drinking beer on Fridays. Like, they're suspicious right off the bat because nothing else has ever worked for a lot of people before. So kind of putting yourself in those shoes and remembering, now you know that there's a solution, right? Because you've done this, but understanding that, pull back on the reins a little bit and know where they're at. And then also we're going to teach you guys and walk you through the system that works, that will work for you, that we use, how to beat that analysis paralysis, right? How many of you guys get paralyzed whenever you're in a conversation or someone responds and you're like, oh my gosh, now what do I say? What do I do? I remember so vividly being in that position. So we'll walk you through that and then turning those conversations into paying customers, because ultimately there's no business if we can't get, those customers rocking and rolling, right? So that's where we're going to be at. And then I want you guys to just like sit back and really think about this. The golden rule of conversations, it always goes back to treating others how you would want to be treated. Okay, I want you to think about your experience that you've had with your coach. How long did it take you to sign up? How did your coach approach you? Maybe you reached out to him or her. What were your own objections? How long did those objections like creep into your mind? How many follow-ups did it take for your coach to message you or talk to you on the phone or meet up with you or whatever? How long did it take before you actually committed? And then think about it. What actually made you sign up? Because like I just mentioned in the beginning, going back now, using it as a teachable moment, my coach literally sent me, I think it was like 31 or 32 follow-up messages over a 6-week time period, because I kept saying, yeah, I'm going to sign up today. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah. But then I never did. And you want to know my reason why I didn't every time I would say that I was going to? Honestly, it came down to this. I was a mom of 2 little girls. My husband was deployed at the time, and I was exhausted every second of the day. I had not started a fitness program yet because I signed up as a coach and as a challenger at the exact same time. And as great as the idea sounded for starting the challenge group and becoming a coach, starting to earn some extra money, by the end of the night, when I would remember, oh yeah, I wanted to do this, I was already planted on the couch with my remote in the hand, ready to watch my DVR shows. So the thought of me getting up to go get my purse, because I'm the mom who like leaves my purse in the car every night too, like just gonna say it, to go outside and get my purse, that was too much for me. Like, that was it. That was the reason. So I want you to keep in mind, right? Answer those questions for you. How long did it take you guys to sign up? But keep in mind, we're not bugging people. We're not here. We all just have our own reasons and our own timing, and everything it turns out the way that it's supposed to be. But keeping that, that idea and that all knowing that this takes time, takes work, takes effort, this takes consistency. And I love this part. Remember, they are going to your post to see if you walk the walk. Because I can actually remember doing that to my coach. I would go and I'd be like, I'm not getting up to go sign up tonight, but I'm definitely going to go creep her Facebook page just to see what she's up to. She was very consistent, because that is the trust it's building, whether or not your customer knows it or not. So are you doing your posts? Are you showing up? Are you talking about what you're doing? Are you showcasing what it is that this lifestyle is all about and how you're going to help your customers or potential new coaches with this business? All right. So I hope that helps. And lastly, for me, building the trust in the relationship, which I've pretty much already covered, guys, but these are like these little things that I like to think of. Whether or not someone is ready to sign up with me or not, I'm still always going to, again, go and walk the walk, because people don't care about what you know until they know you care. So I'm talking about things that I'm doing in my challenge groups publicly, in my posts. I'm sharing the transformations that my coaches are getting or my customers are getting. I am, having these conversations with my people behind the scenes, my potentials. And ultimately, the basis of this business is it typically takes someone 4 to 6 months before they sign up with you. That's just how long the trust is building, whether or not, they're watching you or not. And I remember my coach preaching over and over again, no means not right now. And I would eye roll and I would be like, fine, I'm just going to keep going. And she would tell me, between your 4 and 6 month mark, you know, you're going to see it's going to be almost this little shift. If you do what we're telling you to do, that people are going to start to come to you as you're doing your follow-ups, or they're going to start to message you back a little bit more often because you're showing up. And it was true, right? So that's what we do. And you will have those few who come through and they just send you that message and they're like, I'm ready to sign up right now. But more times than not, it takes a lot more work than you would ever think. And that's where the consistency comes from. And I want you guys to get in this habit of asking questions, okay? I close sales by asking questions. I don't talk about me. I don't talk about, you know, the weather. I don't talk about, you know, that word vomit. Just like spewing everything out about a challenge group or what we do as coaches. I just ask those simple questions. Well, what about it sounds good to you? What are your goals? And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But remember, good leaders ask great questions and talk to your customers to help them make the best decision for them. Okay? That's what we want you guys to focus on. Now, I'll pass it over to you, Jen. Do you want me to just go down the slides, or do you want me to stop screen sharing? You can do it.
No, that's totally fine, as long as you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So everything that Val just said, like I was over here like writing notes, little nuggets in my phone, like especially the great leaders ask questions. So I feel like the number one thing I hear is like, you know, people are ghosting me after I give them information, or at what point in the conversation, like, should I give the info? And like, am I giving too much information? What about the invite? So I wanted to just kind of walk through like my process, and I know Val uses the same process. So step one is just initiating the conversation, AKA sending the invite. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it good? Okay, my little volume like bar isn't working. So this is a very typical invite for me. And what I want to challenge you guys to do is, when I share this with you, don't go to add things like, sorry to message you, or if not, it's okay. I want you to be so confident in what you have to offer that this like feels good to you. So this is honestly a typical invite for me. Like, hey sis, I saw you're watching my stories. Maybe you were just scrolling through, appreciate that, but maybe you have a goal in mind that you want to reach. Did you want some info on my upcoming boot camp? Or I might say, hey, I saw you were watching my stories about my workout. Did you want some info on my boot camp? It doesn't have to be something long. I do not send messages that are like, you know, hi, I don't know if you saw, but I run a business with health and fitness. And guys, somebody's unmuted. Can you just mute yourself? Because there's like a ton of background noise. I may be able to do it on her end. I'm not sure. I can't see who it is. But I don't like I see some coaches say like, oh, this is how I invite. And they're like, hi, my name is Jen. I don't know if you saw, but I run monthly accountability groups where we do this and we do this and we do. I would never, ever, ever respond to that. And most people won't. So I want to challenge you to analyze your invite, go back and read it and decide like, is this working for me or not? If you're not at your goals, your invite may need some tweaking, and that's okay. So this is my like exact invite that I sent today. That's why I made sure to use the one. This is what I sent to every single person I invited today. No, nothing changed. Like that's exactly it. So I want to challenge you guys to look at your invites, and you can actually drop them in the chat. And if we have extra time at the end, we can go through and tweak them. But being confident in your invite is so important. And what I do is I type mine out for the day. I copy paste it, put it in my notes, and that's my invite like for the week. So that's kind of how I do that. And I do usually say people's names. So let's go to step 2. So you've sent the invite. This is where so many coaches freeze. I was hosting a training the other day for a diamond group, and so many people were like, okay, I've got the invite down, but like now they want info. So let me ask, and guys, if you can just raise your hand or type in the chat, how many of you like feel like, oh crap, when they're actually interested because you're not sure what to say next? And it's okay if you do, because I used to be like that. Okay, so I'm looking through. I see a couple hands raised. Okay, somebody said yes. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. So I titled this, they want info, oh no. So let's turn that oh no into, oh, I've got this. Like I am confident. So when someone writes back and says they want info, I want you to breathe for a second, because it is so easy to just send them the info. How many of you have ever done that? I've done it. You just send them everything they could ever want to know, and then they ghost you and you never hear back, and you're like, well, crap, what went wrong? Let me just tell you, you didn't do anything wrong, first of all. You got to make mistakes to move forward. Was it the best thing you could have done? Probably not, but that's okay. We've all done it. It's like a coach learning process. I have done it. We've all done it. But what I've learned throughout my time as a coach is that the shorter the better. So when someone tells me they're interested, my go-to question, Val said, and she's taught me since the beginning, great leaders ask great questions. My go-to is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you want information. Talk to me, sis. What kind of goals are you wanting to work towards? Now I can get to know my customer. And the beautiful thing about it is they're gonna share their goals with you. And now you have a foundation laid that you can build upon. So what I want you guys to do as we're kind of chatting here is, if you need to get out a piece of paper or your phone, Google Doc, something, I want you to map out a conversation. So I want you to put in your Google Doc or in your notes in your phone, whatever, text it to yourself, what you're going to invite. And I want you to type something like this out when they ask for information, so you always know what you're going to say next. Personally, I have always, for 4 years, just like Val, I've always said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're interested. Talk to me about the goals you're wanting to reach, or something along these lines. But goals are my go-to. My whole team knows if they come to the team page and say, this person wants info, they know I'm going to say, did you ask them for their goals? Because that's coming out of my mouth every time. What are their goals? Because how can we help anyone if we don't know what they want to reach, right? So to me, this is like a vital point in the conversation process. All right, let's keep going. So the reason I ask for the goals, guys, is this gives your opportunity to build relationship. Now, I want you to understand these conversations are actually really short. So if you're keeping up, I've only sent 2 messages at this point. Like, that is so fast and easy. So now I get to build a relationship once they respond. So let's pretend I messaged Val. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to work with you, Val. What goals are you wanting to reach? And she said, well, you know, I really, I've been following your postpartum journey and I can't seem to lose these last 20 pounds. Now I can say, girl, I can help you slay those last 20 pounds. Do you think that 30-minute at-home workouts could work for you? I know it's not always the easiest to tell someone on social media your struggles, but it helps me as your coach, so we can slay. And if you guys look over here at my little transcript, insert goal, in no time, honestly, then I say something about when I was first postpartum, I didn't think I could do it either, but now I've been able to lose 20 pounds. Would this work for you? So I'll use another example. Let's pretend they told you, you know, well, I really struggle. Like, I started diet and then I quit. So you already know you have a foundation. Like, you know, thanks for telling me that. I totally have been there. I have yo-yo dieted in the past. It's no fun, but I found something that really works for me. Do you think following like super simple meal plans with no restrictions or like not super strict could work for you? So do you see how I'm using their goal to draw my own experience to be relatable and building that relationship? It's so easy. So that's why I love finding out the goal, guys, because no matter what their goal is, we have the solution. So I'm not worried about what their goal is, because I already know whether it's lose 100 pounds, 200 pounds, get some abs, bulk. I already know that I have a solution for them. So this helps me be super confident in those conversations. So I always restate their goal in that part. All right, so before, you can keep going now. Step 4, oh, you're there, sorry, I didn't see. If you guys play your Google Doc or your notebook, write out a little excerpt of what you're gonna say. Like, I have this like in a Google Doc, so I can just go back through, and of course I edit it and tweak it to personalize for each person. So now let's talk about step 4, getting them the information. So when I built my business for 3.5 years, I have done all of this in back and forth conversations. It absolutely works, and if it's working for you, do it. Recently, since I had a baby, I switched to sending the email information, but it's the same process. So like, one way doesn't work better than the other. It's just more about what you like. So once I had that step 3 done and I asked if they think it could work for you, guys, they're always going to say, yeah, that sounds great. That's going to work for me, because I just made it sound amazing, because it is amazing. It changed my life. When you're excited about something, they're going to know. So I usually say, perfect, what's your email address so I can get you the information? And I either send them the information email that you guys should all have access to. If not, Val and I will both post in our team pages. But I want you to be confident in having this conversation too. So when I send them a message back, I just say, listen, here are the details. We're gonna do a 30-minute at-home workout, a super simple nutrition plan, your 30 days of superfoods, and I'll actually share this exact excerpt in the chat. And you're gonna get access to me, my challenge group. You know, all I need from you is your email address and I can get you set up. Like, it can be that easy. I don't like send huge paragraphs. And that's why I like the email. because I feel like I can send more information to someone's email, and I have the like graphics of the different packs they can choose from. Let me just really quick, how many of you send an email and you really like it? Keep your hands up for a second so I can scroll through and see, or you can type in the chat. How many of you prefer to send your information via conversation back and forth? And that either way is totally fine, guys. Like, I've built my business both ways. Val has built her business both ways. There's no wrong or right. You just have to find the sweet spot that works for you, and consistency is key. So I'll share both of those documents too. If you don't have them, I have a conversation guide and I have the email information, so I can send both. Cameron said it depends on the person she's talking to, and I'm kind of the same way. So it can be both, it can be a mix, but you need to be confident either way in talking about it. I think sometimes we overthink and we give too much information, and it overwhelms people. The other thing I like about the email, I can give them a few different price options, so they can kind of see the value a little more. So I'll talk about that. I see how you would add discount coach in the beginning email. I'll talk about Holly. Don't let me hang up. I'll make sure to talk about that towards the end, about how I get them as a discount coach too. So this is how I get the information to them. And it's super simple. So I hope this simplifies it for some of you. And I think, Val, is that the last step? I can't remember if I had a step 5. Oh, info examples. I have it in here. Is this my slide, Val? I was
just about to say, this one's my slide that we will.
Okay, perfect.
Guys, we'll post it again, even though it isn't all the team pages, but it gets lost. I totally get it. The examples are what Jen was just saying. She and I do the exact same email steps. So the email that I send is literally, it gives them a breakdown of just what she was saying. You can either post it into the social media platform that you're using, or maybe you're talking to someone on the phone and you just list what it is that they're going to get. You can use it in your stories. Like, don't forget about this, your stories, your Facebook posts, all of this. You're going to get your 30-day workout or your 30-minute workout program. You're going to get a superfood shake that you get to replace one meal each day. Tastes like chocolate cake, right? Support, accountability, best friends, busy moms who can relate. Like, that has been my huge thing lately. Like, I need someone who can relate to me, but also take that next step with their fitness journey and put them first for 30 minutes a day to, be their best selves. And then the price points are the best thing ever, because I have found that whenever I give them that image that will say, okay, well, here's the one package for $220, which is, your Shakeology and the performance line, or just the 160 package. I have a lot of people who will choose that $220 because they see the value when they're looking at it in comparison to the 160 or even the 140, which is just a 3-month bod subscription with Shakeology, right? So they can see different packages. Because I know something from myself. When I'm ready to do something, I like the information to just be in front of me so I can choose, and I just order when I'm ready. So I'm finding that a lot of times that's what my customers want to do as well. Okay, so sending them that information over Messenger, and this is key and something that Jen actually taught me, because I don't know why, like, I didn't think about it. So I'll go and send my email or my share cart, right? So then whenever they do decide which package they're going to get, I build their share cart. It's the easiest step possible, because you can see when it was sent, you can see when it's viewed, you can see when it's purchased. Like, it's just this step by step. But the thing that Jen's like, a lot of my people weren't getting the email. And I was like, oh, I guess I really wasn't following up via the same social media platform that I had started talking to them on. So this is key, guys. So now I will go back to Messenger after I have sent the initial email with the information, and I'll be like, hey, Jen, I just sent over the info packet. Can you go check your email and make sure that you got it and let me know which package you want? See how forward that is? But it's not like, I wasn't like, oh, hey, did you get it? I don't want to bug you, but, that used to be the old Val. I'd be like, I don't want to bug you. Don't do that, because I sold nothing. I was $0 every Thursday because I was, like, not confident. So going back to basically do that quick little message to them, hey, did you get the email? Check it out real quick and let me know which package you're going to go with. And then just following up that way as well, then even after I send the share cart, I go and do the same thing. Hey, do you think you could take 3 minutes out of your day real quick to get your enrollments set up so I can get you all up in our 24/7 challenge group, private group, whatever I'm calling it that month, and we'll get you going, right? So I know I need to be forward with people in order for them to go and do it. And then the next one, closing the sale, the follow-up, same thing that I was just talking about. I am so excited. Like, I start everything with this because I am. This is me on the other end of the computer screen, still 6 years in. When I send someone the email, I'm like, send them the email, can't wait. And I tell them that. I just sent you over the info. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'll usually say, can't wait for you to get enrolled. And I like to use the voice text feature on Instagram and Facebook just so they can actually hear the excitement that's in my voice. That's what I like. Wouldn't you like to hear from someone who is, and then that confidence, and that's that practice that you guys can get too. I used to literally, guys, walk around my kitchen practicing talking like this in the beginning. Like, that's how I grew my confidence, because I was scared to death to have a conversation with people. And I look back and I'm like, why was that so scary, right? It's just one-on-one people. We're just people, and we're here to help, and I love my job, and I knew that I wanted to make this successful. But the fact of the matter is, if there's no conversations going, if you're afraid to talk to people, if you're afraid to tell them what they need and send these things, there will not be any business. So that's why we're here, so excited to get you guys rolling and excited to go into these conversations, ready to know exactly how to use the information, apply the information, and then follow up. And a huge question that I get, and I'm sure Jen does too, is, well, how often do you follow up? You know, when do you know that if they're interested or not? I think that my story of my coach following up with me 30 times is probably a good example that I never stopped following up until someone asked to take them off of my email list or something like that. Now, I follow up, probably like, it just depends on the person, obviously, but it does take someone typically 7 to 10 times for a follow-up before they actually commit. So I might send like 2 or 3 follow-ups that same week if it's someone who was really interested, and then I just have them on my follow-up list to message each month for my next boot camp or coach university that's starting. I'll be like, hey, I knew you were super interested in this boot camp last month, but timing was just off. Can I get you enrolled? First dibs on my group starting June 7th. Let me know either way. Any questions, something like that. And then I think, Jen, is this mine or is this yours? I think that this one's yours.
Who knows? We're tag teaming.
No, we're just over here trying to holla.
As long as you guys leave feeling confident in the conversation process, like, we're all good. So basically, like, rejection. Guys, you're going to get rejected. Like, who cares? Move on. Like, that's all I'm even going to say about it, because I don't pay attention to that. Like, people say, what do you do when people – I don't, because I literally – it's not even a blip on my radar, and it shouldn't be a blip on yours either. So, like, it just is what it is. And like Val said about practicing, like, same thing. So I would get my husband, I'd be like, pretend you want some information. And I would talk to him and like write down what I said so that I could like get in this like motion of talking to people. So I just shared in the chat, you can scroll down, Val. I know Val mentioned it too. Like, people say, I don't want to be salesy. Unless you're out there trying to be a salesperson, like, you're not salesy. So you just got to like leave that at the door. So just some final tips, and then I'll talk about what I shared in the chat. If your social media is just filled with join my team guys, so I want you to think of this. When someone invites you, or when you invite them, they're gonna go to your social media. So I know for me, when I get a message from someone that's like small talk, I go look at their social media, and all over their pages, join my team, join my team, join my team. I get like turned off because I'm like, oh, they didn't care about me. Like, they just wanted to sell me something. So like, your posts matter, like consistency matters, what you're sharing on social media matters. So I'll use Chanel as an example. If Chanel sent me an invite and I went to her page and I just saw her like, talking about how easy this nutrition program was and like how much fun she was having with her coaching team and like how she just started this and it was super fun, that's going to intrigue me a lot more to continue a conversation with her. So like, your value and adding like your story, like, and so many people, like, this is a whole nother call on the topic of your story, but like, it's so easy to sit here and be like, what was easy about that workout today? Oh my gosh, my workout was super easy today because I have a baby who can sit right next to me. And when he gets fussy, I can just use him as my weight because it was arm day. Like, how easy would that be for other people? That's all. Like, there's your post. So like, don't overcomplicate and overthink your social media. Just share your life, share your story. That's a whole nother topic for another day, but consistency is key. You got to be doing this every day. I had a coach message me the other day and she said, you know, how do you hit Success Club like that? She's not on our team. She said, I wish I could hit Success Club like that because I'm consistent every day and I've never, ever, ever missed a day in 4 entire years of working my business. Like, today's a holiday. I woke up super early, did my tracker first thing this morning. Like, I don't miss a day. I went to grad school last year and grad school was way harder than this business. I can tell you that. But like, I would have never gone to my professors and been like, I just didn't feel like doing my paper today. So like, I treat myself like that professor. I'm never going to come to myself and be like, oh, I didn't do the work today because, like, I mean, my income and livelihood depend on it. So like, I'm going to show up. Get organized. So like we said, get a Google Doc, copy and paste like your system, what you're going to say every time so that you grow in confidence in it. And before long, you're not going to need that crutch anymore. And I want you to say, before you say, I can't get anyone to pull the trigger, I can't get anyone to join me, I need you to ask yourself, are you doing the 4 vitals and completing your tracker every single day? Because if not, that's why you can't get anyone to pull the trigger. And maybe that sounds harsh, but it's true. This is a business. That's like saying you didn't get an A in grad school because you didn't write any of your papers, or you didn't get an A in whatever you're doing because you didn't do any of the work. So like, to have success in this business, like, you do have to do some work. So let me show you guys what I shared in the tracker, the thing real quick. I'm not gonna like pull it up on the screen, but I shared with you the email that I sent, and it's a very generic one. Like, I tweak it just month by month. Like, I keep this document because like, I can go in and edit the dates. I can go add a cute image. I can do lots of things with it. But at the bottom, you guys will see the different package choice. Mariah asked if I had something like that for Portion Fix. Like, you can just go get the images right off of the Team Beachbody website, and like, the price is right there. Like, it's so easy to just go, like, I literally just screenshot the images and put them in a document. It's super easy. And then I shared a conversation guide with you guys that I've literally used forever. But I do use mostly email, so I'll be honest with you. But it works. It's how I built my business for 4 years. The exact conversation guide, literally, it's in the Google Docs right there. Yeah, so I just pull images. I tweak it monthly. Awesome. So, I mean, and you don't have to use email. You can still do this, like, conversations, like a lot of coaches do. I've literally, for 4.5 years, I've only done back and forth conversation. It works. So I don't want you to feel like you have to uproot a system. Personally, I just have a lot of success with email because I'm busy, so I have to think of my audience. My audience is brand new moms. They're super busy. They don't have time to go back and forth with me. They need the information so they can decide. And that's how I am too. So you just kind of have to decide what works for you. So before we close, if you guys want to drop the biggest hurdle you've had in conversations, but I want you also to say after, like, now, like, what you've learned tonight that's going to help you overcome it tomorrow. So let's have a solution-based little quick discussion for like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. Val and I will unmute and answer any questions you have, and we'll hop off. I'll give you guys a second to type. And guys, thanks for hopping on a holiday. Like, we both talked about it. We combined because we knew it was a holiday weekend. People weren't going to be able to get on. People are out of town. So just know, like, it doesn't go unnoticed. We make the sacrifice to be here for you, to help you. So we appreciate the sacrifice back of you guys hopping on with us. So it's appreciated.
All right. Danielle, sending the email info and no response even after the following up. Okay. So, well, first question, how often are you following up? You know, I get real after like the 3rd or 4th follow-up, and Jen might be able to, you know, chime in here too, but I'll say, listen, you were really excited whenever we were talking about insert your goal. We always go back and insert your goal. Can I just be real and ask you what the holdup is, or why you're hesitant? You know, what is your fear of this? I just go in with that. And then another one that works really well with a follow-up is, hey, before I take you off of my email list, I wanted to just check in one more time if you're still interested, because something about that, I'm about to take you off my follow-up list, people will respond and be like, no, don't take me off. I've just been really busy, or something like that. That's a quick one that I use a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, after I follow up, like, I just move them to my follow-up list, and like, some people aren't going to respond to you. They're not going to like what you had to say in the email. It's not going to be for them. Like, and they're going to move on. Like, I don't try to drag people. I followed up. So I don't want you to feel like you're doing something wrong if you're sending the email info and they're ignoring you when you follow up. Like, you did what you can do. So like, some people, it's not for them. Like, you just move on and find new people. Just don't get stuck and think like, oh, that was my person. I'm waiting on this person. They're going to sign up. Like, they're probably not. So just move on and you can follow up the next month. But you definitely gotta, like, I use the same follow-ups as Val. And I usually do the same. Like, I'm going to take you off my list. Like, you were super excited. Spots are limited. And then the next month I'm like, hey, Danielle, I know I sent you the information last month, but I see you're still watching my stories. Like, was it not a good time? Like, do you want first dibs on this month's group? It'd be cool if you'd let me know. Thanks. And if they ignore me that time, like, I'm not going to continue to like drag them, because I don't want people that don't want to work with me, and I don't like to have to drag anybody. I don't want people on my team that I have to babysit, handhold, and drag. I don't want my challengers that I have to handhold and drag. When I get a challenger that's like, I don't know my portion plan, then you literally didn't take 5 seconds to pull up your program materials, and there's nothing I could do to help you, because you have to put your big girl panties on and figure that out yourself. Like, I don't know how much you weigh, so figure it out. And that's how I was as a teacher with kindergartners, and that's how I'm going to be with grown people. So that's just life. Lauren, like you said, same. You just gotta, once you follow up, if they don't get back to you, like, that's it. Cameron said when they have a goal she doesn't relate to, now she realizes she can pull from different experiences of her own or other challengers. Yes.
Yep. Yes. Holly, do y'all recommend the follow-up? When do y'all recommend to follow up after you send the email? Like I had said, I immediately follow up as soon as I send the email. I just go in, ask them to please take 5 seconds and go read my email, because I want to keep them in that mindset, in that moment of how we were talking back and forth. And I want them to go and read it initially. And then, a couple of times that rest of that week, but just like Jen, I don't go crazy and like follow up every single day for like 30 days. Like, I don't do that. But I also know that they're watching my Facebook and my Instagram. So here you go, lesson. Guys, do posts about this. I get all the time when people tell me that they're interested and they're so excited, and then they get the email and all of a sudden it's crickets. Like, I don't understand how someone can go super pumped to lose 15 pounds and feel super great and confident in their own skin, or, whatever their goal was. I'll put it there in my public post. And then I'll always go back to, I can relate because I was that person, but I'm so glad that I overcame that mindset. And now look, because they're going to be watching you. I mean, I have coaches now, customers who years it took them before they finally joined me. And it's just in their own time, and goes back to that treat others how you would want to be treated. I don't just ghost someone or, drop them like a fly if they're not ready this month. I'm still going to check in with them and be, it's just that, hey, how are you? Like, every once in a while. And I watched a training video just the other day, and it's just a quick reminder, like, just because someone says no, it's not right now. And sometimes the best follow-up is just like, hey, I was thinking about you. How are you? Like, sometimes that's all that it takes, right? Because someone just might be in that mindset. So just quick with that.
Yeah, I do the same. Like, as soon as I send the email, I'm like, hey, I sent you an email. I just want to make sure you got it. Because a lot of times people don't. They're like, oh my gosh, it went to my spam folder. I'm so sorry. So I don't like rely just on the email. I make sure to, same as Val, like what she just said, I follow up. And then if I don't hear from them for a little while, I just ask them again. And I'm like, hey, what happened? Or did you have a question? I'm sorry I made you feel like you couldn't talk to me about your goals. I love that one, because they're like, oh, no, you didn't make me feel that way. And then, so Lena said sometimes she messages on Facebook and it seems like they never receive or read. That happens to me too. And like, there's really not a lot you can do about that. You can definitely send a friend request. So I typically don't message people who aren't my friend or that I'm not following for that reason, because like, you might get sent to their filtered box. Like, do you guys ever get filtered messages? Like, you haven't. Like, I get filtered messages from other coaches all the time, like asking me for help or something. And I'm like, oh, well, here it is a year later. I never got their message. So I typically just try to stick with people that I know. But if it's someone that I know, or that they watch my story or like my post and I message and I see it and go through, I usually try to like just press send again. And sometimes it'll go through the second time. Or I've even like commented or written on their wall, like, hey, I sent you a message in response to our last conversation or something. So that's my tip there. But you guys feel better about this process? If you were doubting, yay. And maybe some of you are like, I already got this, but hopefully all of you feel like I got this going out. So just a quick call to action, and then Val will probably wrap us up. But it's May 27th. You have the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. You have 4 whole entire days. So whether you're at 0, whether you're at 2, whether you're at 4, you can absolutely make shiz happen, but it just takes consistency. And I need you guys to understand, like, okay, I'll tell you, when I slack on my vital behaviors, I absolutely expect my whole next week to be super slow. And then I'm going to call Val and be like, nobody wants to sign up with me. And she's going to be like, well, did you work last week? And I'm going to be like, well, not as much as I should have. And she's going to be like, there you go. This is a reap and sow business. You reap what you sow. So if you've been slacking for 2 weeks, expect your next 2 weeks to be slow. But that's why you got to love the vitals. You got to do it, because I freaking love when people are filling up my inbox. I love when my applications are getting filled out. I love when people are responding to me, and it's all about my own consistency. Like, that's it. My posts on social media, showing up on my stories, inviting, sharing what I'm doing. And it's so easy, guys. This business is so freaking easy. It's so easy to make so much income in this business, like, over time. And I'm not kidding. Like, it kills me when people are like, this is so hard. I'm like, this is like the easiest way to make money ever. Because I went to college for 4 years, and then I got a master's degree. That was way harder than this. And I made like a fourth of what I make showing up every single day for this business. And I mean that with love, but I'm just saying, like, don't overcomplicate it for yourself. Like, go after your goals, go after your dreams, and do not be that person right now that's like, I don't think I can do it, so I'm just going to stop. And then you won't, and you can just stop. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Go for it. Go for it. Jump off the cliff. Come swim in the Kool-Aid. It's fun. All right. That's all I have to say.
That's the truth. And that's all. The only thing standing in anyone's way is the mindset that it takes, because you got to think, like, some people I hear a lot that what message wouldn't sound like me. It's not something that I would sound like I would say. Okay, well, how long have you been trying to message someone with what you would say and you're getting nowhere? That was me for like the first 2 months of what I would say. I word vomited all over their faces in my messages, and then I went back and I'm like, oh, I would have never responded. I would have blocked me too. So taking that then, oh, okay, I'm going to use what Jen's doing, because obviously she hits Success Club 50 every month. So a girl knows what she's talking about. And the second that my mindset shifted all those years ago, boom, I became successful. I started to run my business and treat it like a business. So get yourself this system. And when we say system, it's not a complicated thing. It's literally what we just taught you, Google Doc or note section or whatever works for you guys, and just keep this flow going, because it is awesome when you crush your goals. All right, guys. So I'm so thankful that you guys popped on tonight, and let's see you guys crush Success Club this week. Can't wait for next week's call. Bye, guys.